to meet in the what? The same place. They're going to fight. They're going to argue. Bismillah. Set up the meeting. And the meeting, the hardest part is breaking the ice. That is the initial step, is getting party A to meet with party B. And for one reason or another, they are from two different worlds, or they were from the same world, but they became far from each other. Their hearts became hard, and we need to bring them back together. So the most difficult part is the meeting, is the meeting. I don't want to be in the same room with this person. A lawyer says, all you got to do is just get me in the same room, I'll get him to sign the contract. That's a fact. Give me one clear shot, and we'll what? Set up the meeting. So that's the most difficult part, is the human being going into the world of the shayateen. And there are different ways and different techniques that the human being employs. That's number one. Number two, the whole purpose of this, Abdurrahman, is not to get caught up or spooky or this and that, but it's to show us the evil nature of sihr. And that from its inception is evil. There's no good in it whatsoever. So whenever you see it or hear about it in a show, a movie, a cartoon, a little doll that you have hanging on your book bag, or a joke or a symbol or an icon, it's nothing to play around with. And if that means that your son or your daughter can't be like the other kids at school, I want to be normal, then so be it. You aren't normal. So be it. Why can't I have a little, what they call the little demon doll thingies? Labubu. Perfect example. There you go. Why can't I have a Labubu doll? Why is everything, say, son, you're right. We are weird. We are different. You aren't like they are. We have to be different. The nature of it is evil. Thirdly, it shows us that the nature of sihr is kufr and shirk. End of discussion. And the more you know the history and the origin of a thing, the easier it is to deal with it afterwards. And this is why it states in an ancient African proverb that he who knows the past knows the future. He who knows the past knows the future. It's literally that simple. You can know the future just by knowing the past. I know how this is going to end. How? Because I've read history. This person, he was this, he was arrogant, he was conceited, he stole the throne from his little brother, he stabbed him. I already know how this is going to end. It's nothing but a matter of time before what? We all know how it's going to end. How do you know? Do you know the unseen? No, but I read history. I know how this is going to end. This marriage is going to break up. How do you know that? How can you say that? Because just look, history is an unhealthy relationship that they have. It's an unhealthy obsession. It's a smothering. Can't get a second to breathe. We know, we've seen this 100 times. It's not but a matter of time before what? He gets tired of her, she gets tired of him. We've seen this before. So he who knows the past knows the future. So if you know the origin and the foundation of sihr and what it's based upon, you know it has only one end, and that's a dead end. That's a dead end. All right. And also, from one thing, we learn we learn the opposite of things. Let's see. Nafis, can you help me with this brightness? Let's see. Maybe. Oh. All right. Jazakallah khairan. All right. So, if we learn that the sahir brings about the jinn by saying this or wearing this or not doing that, then from the ways of you protecting yourself from it is doing the opposite. Is doing the opposite. Disrespecting the Quran is a means of getting the help of those jinn. So a means of me protecting myself from those evil jinn is respecting the Quran. He enters their world through filth and impurity. So the cleaner and purer I am, mentally, pure thoughts, physically, clean clothes. And the scholars of Islam mention this is one of the wisdoms behind wearing white. As the Prophet ﷺ says, Inna min khayri thiyabikum lahadha al-bayad. The best thing to wear is white. And one of the reasons being is that you can clearly recognize a stain in a spot. So if you can see it faster, then you should be able to. There's no doubt about that. All right. So these are some تأملات في هذه الطرق. ولماذا بدأنا بها أصلا؟ ولماذا ذكرناها لعامة الناس أصلا؟ Right? Why even mentioning them? I want to be a sahir. Oh, this is how you do it. لا ليس كذا. وإنما المقصود ما ذكرت. تنبيه على ما ذكرت. All right. طيب. So we've reached الطريقة السابعة, the seventh way. طريقة الكف. طريقة الكف. وفي هذه الطريقة يحضر الساحر صبيا صغيرا لم يبلغ الحلم بشرط أن يكون غير متوضئ، ثم يأخذ كف الصبي الأيسر ثم يرسم عليه مربعا هكذا، ويكتب حول هذا المربع طلاسم سحرية، وطبعا تحتوي على شرك. يكتب هذه الطلاسم حول مربع من جهاته الأربع، ثم يضع في كف الصبي في وسط هذا المربع زيت وزهرة زرقاء أو زيت وحبر أزرق، ثم يكتب طلاسم أخرى بحروف مفردة على ورقة مستطيلة، ثم توضع هذه الورقة كالمظلة على وجه الصبي، ويرتدي فوقها قلنسوة. We read this last week, right, Noor? We read this. All right. So we should be on number 8, the 8th and final method of the sahir conjuring the jinni, which is طريقة الأثر. وفي هذه الطريقة يطلب الساحر من المريض بعض آثاره من منديل أو عمامة أو قميص أو أي شيء يحمل رائحة عرق المريض، ثم يعقد هذا المنديل من طرفه، ثم يقيس مقدار 4 أصابع، ثم يمسك المنديل مسكا محكما، ثم يقرأ سورة التكاثر أو أي سورة قصيرة يرفع بها صوته، ثم يقول طلسما شركيا يسر به، ثم ينادي الجن ويقول إن كان ما به من المرض سببه الجن فقصروه، وإن كان ما به من العين فطولوه، وإن كان من الطب فدعوه كما هو، ثم يقيسه مرة أخرى بعد ذلك، فإن وجده قد طال عن 4 أصابع قال أنت مصاب بعين الحسد، وإن كان قد خسر قال أنت مصاب بالجن، وإن وجده كما هو 4 أصابع قال ما عندك شيء اذهب إلى طبيب. التعليق على هذه الطريقة التلبيس على المريض، حيث يرفع الساحر صوته بالقرآن ليظن المريض أنه يعالج بالقرآن، وليس كذلك، وإنما السر في الطلسم الذي أسر به. ثانيا الاستعانة بالجن ومناداتهم ودعائهم، كل هذا شرك بالله العظيم. الثالث الجن فيها كذب كثير، فما يدرك أن هذا الجني صادق أم كاذب في هذا الأمر، وقد اختبرنا فعل بعض السحرة أحيانا كانوا صادقين وأحيانا كثيرة كانوا كاذبين، حيث جاءنا بعض المرضى وذكر أن الساحر قال له عندك عين، فلما قرأنا عليه القرآن نطق عليه جني ولم يكن به عين، وغير ذلك كثير، وربما يكون هناك طرق أخرى لا أعلمها. All right, let's move forward to the translation. It states here in the translation that the author says the 8th method, the 8th and final method, which is called al-athar, traces of the smell of sweat in garments. The sahir asks the patient to bring a garment that has traces of the smell of his or her sweat, such as a handkerchief, a turban, or shirt. Suppose the garment is a handkerchief. He would knot the handkerchief so that it measures the thickness of 4 fingers. He then holds it firmly and recites at-takathur or any other short chapter of the Quran in a loud voice. Then he recites an incantation silently and calls the jinn, saying, if this patient's illness has been caused by a jinn, then shorten this garment. If the patient's illness has been caused by the evil eye, then lengthen it. If the patient's illness has been caused naturally, then leave the length of the garment as it is. The sahir remeasures the handkerchief. If it exceeds 4 fingers, he says to the patient, you suffer from the effect of a jealous eye. If it is less, he says to the patient, you suffer from the effect of jinn. If the size of the garment is still 4 fingers, he says to the patient, there is nothing wrong with you. Go and see a doctor. Comments on this method. The sahir confuses the patient. He recites the verses of the Quran loudly in order to make the patient believe that he's being treated with the Quran. This is not the case, for the secret lies in the incantation which he recites silently. Secondly, seeking the assistance of jinn and appealing to them is an act of polytheism. Thirdly, the jinn tell many lies. Who knows whether this jinn was telling the truth or was lying? The work of some sorcerers has been tested, and it was proven that sometimes they were telling the truth, but most of the time they were telling lies. For instance, a patient said to me, a sahir told him or her that he or she suffered from the effect of the evil eye. When I recited some verses of the Quran to the patient or for the patient, a jinn spoke through the patient. This reveals that the patient did not suffer from the evil eye. Examples such as this are common, as well as other methods of which I am not aware. So in summary, the eighth and final way of the human being entering to the world of the jinn to take the help and the power of those jinn against other humans is that which is called al-Battar. That could be your socks, your underwear, your shirt, anything that's connected to you that carries your smell. Like a dog, like a hound dog. It follows the scent, it follows the smell. So we learn from this so far is that the Muslim should be mindful and discreet and prudent with regards to your personal things, your intimate things. Everybody shouldn't have access to all of your stuff. You don't have to be paranoid, but mindful. Who you have in your house, who you have around your stuff. Brother Fernand, this one, that one, your mom, let's be honest. She can come in the kitchen, she's welcome. In the bedroom, la. No, thank you. In the laundry room, no. It's my mother, what's the problem? Please, have your mother stay out of the laundry. What are you trying to say? I'm not trying to say anything. I just don't want her near the hamper. I don't want her around my stuff. I'm personal. I'm insecure. I'm self-aware of my socks. My socks, they stink. That's all you have to say. But we both know, I don't know about that. I don't want this person in my bedroom touching my pillow, my covers. And that's a well-established fact. And the Prophet ﷺ advised us to brush out the bed. بِطَرَفِ الْإِزَارِ. When you want to sleep, you brush the bed out. You don't know what's in your bed. And many people, they put things, or they take things from your bed. It has your smell, your scent, your saliva, your slobber, and other fluids from the body as well. So be mindful of your intimates. That's the moral of the story. That's the what? That's the moral of the story. Only trustworthy people should have access to you and access to your stuff. Whether it be the laundromat, who's in your house, a maid, a servant, a family member, etc. Just be mindful. You may say, oh, this is paranoia, or this is extreme. How many people get afflicted by these things? And they don't have any clue. The clue lies in everyone has access to your personal, intimate stuff. And don't underestimate the intentions of men. All men don't have good intentions. That's proven. All men don't have good intentions. And the moment you just focus on the surface, just know for sure that there's an underworld. There's an underworld in all things. All things. Every aspect of life, there's an underworld. There's a black market. There's an underground. And oftentimes the underground is bigger and faster than that which is above the surface. That's a fact. If you can't get it done, you go to this person. You can't find it, you talk to this person, and you'll get the service done. So people have different intentions. So don't be paranoid, but be mindful. Be mindful. All right. We also see, as the author has explained, the deception of the sahir. He recites the Quran out loud so you can hear it. Oh, he's just a sheikh, he's a raqi. Then why is he lowering his voice? And this is applicable to anything else which is hidden and unknown. These are Allah's names and attributes written in this. But what's the other stuff? And why is it so small that no one can see what it is? And why is it in another language or dialect? It's intentionally done for you to just be fooled and deceived at what you see, like a commercial. The product, they say it loud and clear. Bright letters, the font. And at the end of the commercial, the Surgeon General's warning, how small is it? How quick do they say it? Is this not the case? It could cause. They rush through it. But we told you they can cause cancer. Take the pill, drink it, eat it, whatever, no problem. So this is the style of the shayateen. They trick men. They lull them in. They lure them in with something big and flashy. But just enough is there for you to get bit or stung. And then they'll say, well, hey, it was in front of your face, like the symbol, like the icon. All right? So the words of the Quran, the Adhan, the Hadiths, the Arabic language, is no discrepancy. The moment you start speaking different languages, saying different things, that opens up the door for foul play. And it shows us the importance of the Arabic language. The importance of the Arabic language. Why do I have to learn Arabic? Why should I speak Arabic? I'm not an Arab. I'm not an Arab. Arab people don't like me. Arab people are racist, such and such. I don't have to. Maybe. But there's safety in Arabic because it's known, it's clear. Bilisanin Arabiyyin mubin. It's plain and simple. There's nothing hidden. You start speaking this dialect, this Egyptian, whatever, anything can be said. You start saying this language from West Africa, the Sheikh, he says the dua in the West African dialect, anything can be what? Anything can be said, and you don't know. Only a few people speak that dialect. But Arabic, we can record it. It's clear as day what's being said. So the clarity of the Arabic language is important with regards to the ruqyah. And many people ask the question, can I say another language in the salah? Can I make dua to Allah in another language in the salah? Sheikh Fulan said yes. I Googled it, blah, blah, blah. If you ask me, I'll say no. No language in the salah except for Arabic. Well, I don't speak Arabic. Doesn't God understand my supplication in any language? No one said that you have to speak Arabic. And no one said that Allah won't hear your dua. But we're talking about the formal salah. The formal salah is in what language? God is the greatest. You don't say that, do you? You say what? Allahu Akbar. So why do people need to translate? Oh, may God bless you. Allah, barakallahu fikum. No problem. You don't say these things. All praise is for Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the most merciful, the most... You don't do that. And this is why you see people doing this kind of stuff and making up new stuff. And the shaitan takes them what? Further and further and further and further away. And it all starts from racism. I don't like Arabs. Arabs don't like me. No problem. Cool. And the shaitan, he takes that little small piece and does what? And he lures you further and further from the deen and from the sunnah. So I have to be careful. It's a reason why Allah sent it down in this language. It's a reason why. So anybody doing a ruqyah in a different language, that should be a red flag. What is he saying? And anytime the person is lowering his voice, and that's also with regards to the science of voices, how people talk, right? A soft, low voice, like this, you see. Psychology behind that. When you lower your voice and when you slow your words down, versus something being plain and clear, loud and clear. So these are all telltale signs that somebody's ruqyah is into what? Too halal or too kosher, all right? All right. Calling upon the jinn, seeking the assistance of the jinn, he says, is an act of polytheism. Obviously, this author is a Wahhabi. No one would say that, but a blasted Wahhabi. It's not shirk to call upon the jinn. As long as you don't believe that they're as powerful as Allah, you can call upon them. As long as you have that belief in your heart. As long as you don't equate them with Allah, you can make istighatha with no problem. It's only shirk if you believe that they're equal to Allah. So right now I'm dying, I'm on my deathbed, I'm on the battlefield, the kuffar, they're about to capture me, kill me, and I call out to this wali, help me, save me. But I don't believe that he's equal to Allah. I don't believe that. I know that he's lesser than Allah. It's a life and death situation, and instead of me saying, Ya Rahman, I'm going to say, Ya Wali, Fulan and Fulan and Fulan. How much sense does that make? That's just stupid. Right now, and if I get locked up, I'm in a major, serious situation. The police tell me you have one phone call to make. We'll open up your phone. You get one contact. Am I going to call Fulan that I know is in a different time zone? Am I going to call Brother Fulan who may pick up? I'm going to find the most dependable contact in my whole phone, 1,000 people, to the most dependable person, and beg and pray that he picks up the phone. Or am I going to say, oh, let me call Brother Fulan who answers his phone sometime? Does that make any sense? It's a life and death situation. I got one shot. Yo, it's an emergency. I wouldn't call you at 2 a.m. unless it was an emergency. So a person is in a life and death situation. They make istighatha. They call upon anyone besides Allah. And then you go and say, it's not shirk and it's not kufr. And it doesn't mean that they have equal belief. How much sense does that make? And why would you go down from Allah to call upon anyone else in a life or death situation? Does that make sense? So calling upon the jinn, invoking them, is no doubt, is clear kufr akbar. End of discussion. Moving forward, the jinn are not to be trusted. We mentioned this last week. They are made from fire, smokeless fire. The nature of fire is jumpy. It's uncontrollable. That's why your parents tell you never play with fire. Even though fire is super cool. There's nothing like the fun of lighting a match, even to this very day. Is this not the case? It's fun. It smells decent. It's decent. And fire is one of the most essential things in our daily lives on every single level. Your breakfast, the ignition of the car, all of these different products, they are made from what? Baking and cooking and burning. Fire is essential. A woman's hair, she's treating her hair. The thing has to be what? Hot. Ironing your clothes. Fire is one of the most essential necessities of life. But your parents tell you don't play around with it. Why not? Because it's what? It's jumpy. You think you got it, next thing you know, and then you panic. And that's how the house catches on fire. It's a simple fire over the stove. All you had to do is just get the extinguisher, don't pour water in it, 2 seconds. That's why you find experienced chefs and cooks, when a fire raises up on the skillet or the pan, what do? They never panic. Even if it gets a little out of control, they never panic. Firefighters are trained not to what? Panic. So this creature is made from fire. How much trust can you put in it? I'm a Muslim jinn. I've come to you to help you. Allah sent me your way. Is there any hadith on that? Did Allah send angels in the form of humans? We have hadiths on that or not? Several times Allah sent a malak fi surati bashar. Tell me one time, ya akhi, in the Quran or the Sunnah, in which Allah Azza wa Jal sent a jinni in the form of a human to help out a righteous human. Do we have any examples? At best, Sulaiman alayhi salam did what? They weren't in another what? Form. It was known that they were what? They were jinn. And he had them what? Controlled, subdued. But where does it state that Allah sent a jinni, a salih, a righteous demon in the form of a human? لا يوجد. Allah sent an angel. فَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهَا رُوحَنَا. What did he do? فَتَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. He was a malak in the form of a what? A man, never a jinni. So people say, or we know that common sense isn't too common. Sometimes people are so smart, so spiritual and mystical, and so deep that they become stupid. And they're blinded from basic common sense. All right, let's move forward. Moving forward in the book, علامات يعرف بها الساحر. فضل نور. بسم الله. كلهم سوا بصفات أعوذ بالله. عليه الصلاة والسلام. صلى الله عليه وسلم. جزاك الله خيرا. All right. Nafis, are you ready? Distinctive features of a sahir's work, i.e., how do you know who is a sahir? How do I know who to avoid, who to stay away from? Who's a sheikh or a raqi? Who's a medicine man? How do I know who's who and what's what? Allah gives us signs. For all things and people who are hidden, there are always signs. Don't ever forget that. There are always signs. And some people say that every wound is self-inflicted. And relationship specialists, they'll tell you the 4 stages of most relationships, how most people only get past the second phase, 8 out of 10. And the first stage or phase is the honeymoon phase. You're in love, you're in La La Land, you're in Google, everything is beautiful, perfect, and wonderful. But in most cases, the red signs are clearly there. Oftentimes from day one, Abdurrahman, day one, the red flag is there. But your happiness is just blinding you. But in reality, that person, they clearly, even if they try to hide it, if they're good, Allah is merciful. Don't ever forget this. There's a rule. When something is hidden from your knowledge, hidden from your eyesight, from Allah's mercy is that He gives you signs. The Quran talks about this, signs, that you will know them, what? وَلَتَعْرِفَنَّهُمْ فِي لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ. All right, type. Distinctive features of a sahir's work. Faddal. If you find one, listen carefully. I mean, you need to pay attention to this specifically. Definitely. Bila adna raib. Even if they call themselves a Raqi specialist, a Raqi professional, Ruqya. Number 1. What does my mother's name got to do with anything? I want to make Ruqya on you. Tell me your mother's name. What village is she from? That my antenna is up, Muhammad. I'm outie. I'm going. I'm ghost. But no, peace. Peace. There's nothing to discuss. Number 2. Sweaty garment, all right? Tell you, I need a lot of what? Good musk funk. I need a good smell of you on this T-shirt. So after you finish your basketball or your gym, give me your gym clothes. Give me your shirt that you was working out in. You was, on your bike, riding that hog all of those miles. Give me those boots, with your pagan, Mongol, Hell's Angels guys, Lord Mustain. Who rides with people called pagans, Hell's Angels? I would have been that. Moving forward. Flannel, huh? Tell you, moving forward. He sometimes asks for. So I need a black goat, Muhammad. A black goat, 6 to 12 months, has to have horns, a patch of white on this arm, and a really, really, really long tail, so on and so forth. You find that for me? And inshallah, you'll be healed. Inshallah. If the wali allows. But that's not shirk. Don't ever forget that. All right? Moving forward. Putting the blood on your neck or your back or your foot. Don't worry. Oh, what is this? I didn't read this in Sahih Bukhari. Don't worry. It's just a cultural thing. It's proven. It's adi. It's no problem. All right? Fadal. Things, squares, hexagons, different stuff. What is the purpose of this? And this goes the runes, and it shows you the importance and the safety of the Quran and Sunnah. And the more you go outside of the things, the what? And this is obviously, all jokes aside, not joking anymore, but people who make the argument, or people who are detractors against Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, and they say this about him and they say that about him, etc., etc., etc. One thing you can't say about him is that in his aqeedah and his madhab is safety. That's a fact. You won't have to worry about no sihr, no jinn stuff. It's safety. You go outside of that, no, this scholar, Funan, this university, I have evolving theories, blah, blah, blah. And then you find it, what? It's mixed up in it. For 1,000 years, the Muslims have had this grave in this tomb, this great empire. Are you telling me they were all wrong? They were all kuffar? They were all mushrikun? You open up that door, anything can come in and go out. That is a hardcore what? That's a hardcore fact. So it's khilaf, it's difference of opinion. The scholars in Syria, this, next thing you know, shirk and calling on the wali. That's reality. Moving forward, life is choices, and choices are life. I never forget that. Hayatu qarar, wal qararu hayat. Moving forward. In a different language, a different dialect, a different accent. It's unclear what the person is saying. Number 6. Geometric figures, all right? Tayyib. Within which letters? Dark, the curtains that block out the sunlight. You know what I'm talking about? The really good ones. You go to some hotels, you close the curtain, you don't know what time it is. People have jet lag. People have different time zones. You want the people to relax and to be able to rest and sleep. The worst thing is you go to a hotel room, you close the curtains and you still see the what? You still see the sun. And it messes up your sleep a little bit. I'm jet lagged. I'm trying to recalibrate my body, or I don't care about recalibrating. I just need to rest. I can't be a zombie. So the blackout curtains, nothing. So I need you, Abdul Wadud, to go in a dark, dark room. No lights, phones, alarm clocks, tablets, or even better, and you go to a hotel room and a television. The television is off, but it's that little pulsing blue light, right? Or some hotel rooms, the television comes on by itself, right? Or the thing is glowing or whatever. So I need you to be in a total pitch black, dark room. No sunlight whatsoever. Cool? Fadl. Al-hijba. Hijba. We said hijab already, akhi. Hijba. Abdurrahman, you ever heard of this? Or seen this? Anything like this? Never. Nobody ever seen hijba? You've seen it before? I'm sure different cultures call it different things. ما نتكلم عن اشتقاق الكلمة. Allahu Akbar. Depression, all jokes aside, the connection between depression, and we spoke on this before. When I'm depressed, I don't take a shower for days on end. I don't pray for days on end. I'm in my bed, under the covers, eating, drinking, binging, watching, whatever, clicking, swiping. Did the shaitan like that? Will the shaitan be pleased with that? I'm going to A, cut myself off from everybody. B, I want to avoid cleanliness and hygiene. The dhikr of Allah. And who likes people to be sad and grief-stricken? So depression, no, brother, you got it all wrong. Depression is clinical. Has nothing to do with spirituality, brother. You can be a good, strong, practicing Muslim and still be chronically depressed. It has nothing to do with religion and spirituality. Obviously, anyone who prays on a daily basis and anyone who's trying and striving to do the right thing, he won't accept that. You can become sad. Something may haunt you from your past. You may have some anxiety, so on and so forth, but 24/7, a week straight, down and out, depression, praying, fasting, paying zakat, hajj, umrah, classes, ilm, it's not what? Even if it was nothing more than just a numbing, but it's just not going to happen. We both know this. You're not being honest. So there is a connection between depression, chronic depression, between mood swings, up and down, hot, steaming, burning, scalding hot, and ice cold mood swings. There's a connection to the shaitan and to the shayateen. There's no question about that. Especially if you're married. What could be a better way of wedging between you and your husband than depression, a mood swing? I'm sorry, please don't touch me, don't hug me, don't kiss me right now. Let alone, we can't sleep with each other. Who loves that at the end of the day? Who's winning, Faisal? Who would win? No question. There's no doubt about that. I'm going through something right now, keep your distance, I need space. Who wins? Absolutely. So there is a balance with regards to medicine, medical science, with regards to clinical studies. There is a what? There's a balance. There are chemicals. We know this. The Quran tells us about chemicals. We don't need the kuffar and the mushrikun. We don't need atheists and agnostics. We don't need people who worship crucifixes and to say that Allah is one of three and there's the mother of God. We don't need them to tell us about chemicals being inside the human body. Allah tells us about chemicals. The creation of man is from a what? Chemical. خُلِقَ مِن مَاءٍ دافق يخرج صلب وترائب. That's a what? It's a chemical. That's a fluid. That's a matter. We notice there are elements that man comes from. Man is made from teen, clay. Clay is unequal. Some clay is red. Some clay is white or beige or darker color. Easy. There's different parts of the earth. Hence, we have different types of humans, different imbalances. However, the spirit A is superior. And it is impossible for there to be something physical or mental or emotional and be totally separate and cut off from the what? Spiritual. That just isn't making what? It's not making any sense. So just because you're depressed doesn't mean you have a jinn or doesn't mean you have sihr on you. However, there is a what? There's a connection. Moving forward, he sometimes instructs the patient. 40 days, brother. 40 days, no wudu, all right? I need you to do this for me. 40 days. Your wound has to heal. No water, 40 days. All right? This indicates Allah, a monk, a friar. No water, right? Alhamdulillah. No. He murmurs. I don't believe the soothsayer, Muhammad, but I just go to him. That's all. But I don't believe him. But I'm going to go to him and sit to him and listen to him. But I'm not going to believe it, though, all right? So don't call me a kafir, all right? Please, inshallah. But I am going to go to him, though. That's a fact. All right, chapter 5, punishment under Islamic law for practicing sihr. We don't need to read this chapter. We're not under Islamic law. We're in Bayonne, New Jersey. Under any circumstance do we condone or promote any acts of violence, Muhammad, against anybody, especially Jews. We do not allow or condone any type of anti-Semitic rhetoric or anything which would endanger the well-being and the safety of the Jewish race / Jewish religion. Is there any connection between Jews, Judaism, Jewishness, and sihr? Is there any history? Is there any context? Modern day magic and soothsaying and Hollywood? What does the word holly mean? What is holly? What is Hollywood? Where does it come from? Is it a tree? Is it a type of wood? What's meant by that? I don't know. The different movies that deal with the old ancient traditions of sihr and jinn and demons, what is the majority, or who are the majority of people who run and control? I don't even have to go that deep. I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. The majority of the actors and the actresses, what is their background? Where do they come from? And of course, it's just all a big what? Coincidence. And that's just nothing more than a conspiracy what? Theory, anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. All right, حكم السحر في الشريعة الإسلامية. We'll go over this just quickly. We're not going to explain this. حكم تعلم السحر في الشريعة الإسلامية. حكم الساحر في الشريعة الإسلامية. حكم ساحر أهل الكتاب. He mentioned that. هل يجوز حل السحر بالسحر؟ الفرق بين السحر والمعجزة والكرامة. In this chapter that we're not going to explain, what is the ruling on learning sihr in the Sharia? Of course, it's haram. And why would you do a magic trick or have someone do a magic trick on you, even if it's just white magic and it's not black magic? Is that wise? Is that a wise thing to do? Noor Hilal, you being a scholar of Islam, an academic, a role model of people, even if it's just a harmless white magic trick, sleight of hand, is that a wise thing to do? Thousands of young Muslim men, naive and gullible, watch you, listen to you, love you, and you let someone do a magic trick on you. Allahu alam, yani. All right, what's the ruling on learning sihr? We know it's haram. What's the ruling of a sahir? Do they face capital punishment in Sharia law? What is the ruling on a Jewish or Christian sorcerer or magician? Most importantly, can we remove sihr with sihr? And this is very common among Muslims. I'm afflicted with it. I don't believe in it. But the one who did the spell can undo the spell. The locksmith. Who would know better than the one who made the lock? Mercedes-Benz. I'm locked out of my car. I'm going to call Mercedes-Benz to what? Get me back into my car. He has the copy. He has the whole thingy in his system. Takes you 2 seconds. Allah them how much you charge him for that service. Exploiting desperate people. Allahu musta'an. Al-farqu. What is the difference between sihr, a miracle, a mu'jiza, and a karama? All right. So we know that learning sihr is unlawful. It's impermissible. White or black. As far as the black, of course, the black sihr has to be bad. There's no doubt about that. There's no question about that. The black sihr, of course, is evil, and the white sihr is good. The black sihr being bad because you're using the help of the shayateen and the jinn, as we just have learned. The white magic will be unlawful because it leads to the learning of the black magic. There's no doubt about that. So for argument's sake, it's just a trick. Next thing you know, the what? The pin. It's in your pocket. Whoa, that was cool. No demons, no devils. Just a trick of the what? All right. Sounds cool. Sounds harmless. But, man, the first time I saw a magic trick, the first time and I remember this vividly, I was back from Medina, and I was in New York City. My kids had came back from Medina, or maybe they were there for summer or whatever. So anyway, it was their first time like in New York City in the summertime. A brother took us on a train, the A train, the subway. My first time in a New York City subway. And I'll never forget what we saw on that train ride. We saw live entertainment. We saw the person doing flips. We saw this, and we saw people doing magic. And my daughter's face, I felt bad. The guy put this big, fat bunny rabbit out of the top hat. How did he do it? Allahu Alam. Was it black? Was it white magic? But the kids were like, whoa, and I said to them, no, this is evil, it's haram, there's nothing cool about that. But human nature, common sense is like, whoa, did you see that? That big fat rabbit from thin air, from the hat. So the first experience that you have with sihr, white magic, a birthday party, a clown, is no different than the first time you've been experienced or you've been exposed to anything else. The first time your dad took you to the Yankees game, how did it feel? Going into that big stadium, the popcorn, the peanuts, the hot dogs, the soda, is something that you'll never forget for the rest of your life. The first time your dad bought you this, the first time your mom gave you this. And oftentimes people grow up doing things, pursuing things based off of the what? That initial first encounter. We don't have to mention bad things, there are plenty. You saw it by accident, or someone, your older brother or someone in a barbershop, yo, let me show you this. No, let me show you. And the next thing you're what? Stuck for the rest of your life. So can you guarantee that a child who sees the bunny rabbit or the card or this birthday party trick won't fall in love with sihr afterwards? Can you guarantee that, Ibrahim? Is that possible? But it's a big possibility that you'll end up liking what? And the more you do the white magic, you might as well what? I smoke cigarettes, then you do what? Then there's no question about that. And oftentimes you're going to do the harder drugs even if you don't want to, just by being and absolutely. And a soft drug, it doesn't do anything I need something what? And that's applicable to anything else haram that you do. It starts off with this soft chord, next thing you know, you're numb. That has no more effect. You need something to really, really mess you up. So no sincere parent would expose their child to white magic. End of discussion. And at best, a person doesn't learn the black magic, but you will learn how to sympathize with sihr. It's just a book, brother. Why are you going so hard? It's just Harry Potter. Come on, man. It's just a cartoon, man. It's just a little Lapubu dolls. No biggie. Why are you so extreme? And that obviously is a problem. Sympathizing with kufr and with the people of kufr is an infringement upon your iman. All right. قال الإمام مالك رحمه الله تعالى الساحر الذي يعمل السحر ولم يعمل ذلك غيره مثل الذي قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه ولقد علموا لمن اشتراه ما له في الآخرة من خلاق فأرى أن يقتل إذا عمل ذلك هو نفسه. قال ابن قدامة رحمه الله تعالى وحد الساحر القتل. All right. Moving forward. قال القرطبي رحمه الله تعالى اختلف الفقهاء في حكم الساحر المسلم والذمي فذهب مالك إلى أن المسلم إذا سحر بنفسه بكلام يكون كفرا يقتل ولا يستتاب ولا تقبل توبته لأنه أمر أو أمر يستتر به كالزنديق والزاني. That's interesting. Malik says he's to be put to death without no tawbah. There's no istitab. But there's no, hey, you got 3 days. And they say, he does it, end of discussion. I made tawbah, I'm no longer, you got to go. That's what Imam Malik said. How many Muslims today follow Imam Malik or say to follow his madhab and they practice what? وهو قول أحمد بن حنبل وأبي إسحاق أو أبي ثور وإسحاق والشافعي وأبي حنيفة. So all 4 imams, they said that. All right, moving forward. It's a big rabbit, akhi. It wasn't a small rabbit. It's a healthy rabbit, huh? Allahul Musta'an. All right, what's the punishment of the sahir and the Sharia law? All right. والخلاصة يتضح مما مر أن جمهور العلماء يقولون بقتل الساحر إلا الشافعي رحمه الله يقول لا يقتل إلا إذا قتل بسحره فيقتل قصاصا. They're not different over it being haram or not. What's the exact punishment of it? All right, Jews and Christians living among the Muslims, we don't need to talk about that. You guys, today, you don't have no dhimmis under you. You pay the jizya. Allah al-musta'an. طيب. هل يجوز حل السحر بالسحر? What you say, عبد الرحمن? يجوز أم لا يجوز؟ لا يجوز فك السحر بالسحر؟ يا أخي ايش هذا التشدد؟ طيب. Very interesting, huh? We're not going to mention this. Noor, very what? Very interesting. What the scholars said about removing sihr. Not to do more sihr, but to just what? Unscrew it. All right, let's move on to the next chapter. Huh? Let's move on to the next chapter, Ibrahim. No shubuhat. No specious arguments. Yeah? All right, page 90. هل يجوز تعلم السحر? Can you get the fat rabbit or not? قال الحافظ ابن حجر قوله تعالى إنما نحن فتنة فلا تكفر فيه إشارة إلى أن تعلم السحر كفر. قال ابن قدامة رحمه الله تعالى تعلم السحر وتعليمه حرام لا نعلم فيه خلافا بين أهل العلم. قال أصحابنا يكفر الساحر بتعلم. All right, let's do a Google search, guys. All right, everybody ready? Let's do a Google search. No spirit possession today, inshallah, hopefully not. Our Google search, is it connected to the Wi-Fi? Bismillah. Let's see. Islamic. Not yet, akhi. I'm done with you and your Wahhabi stuff. Islamic ruling on learning white magic. See what we get. Oh, here you go, man. I tell you, this looks interesting. That looks promising. Akhi. That's an abasu. Don't call people names, brother. All right, let's see. AI overview. Says here, in Islam, learning and practicing any form of magic, including white magic, is forbidden and considered haram, forbidden. While some might differentiate between white and black magic, suggesting one is for good and the other for evil. And that's interesting, guys. They're saying that the term white magic isn't just a trick or sleight of hand. But they're saying, based off of that, that white magic is sihr with good intention. So therefore, I'm using sihr to heal someone sick, not to get people sick. We'll stop here. Clean up after the adhan, inshallah. I'll see if there are any questions. Wallahu alam. Bismillah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah.
La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Allahumma rabba hadhihi ad-da'wati at-tamma was-salati al-qa'imah.
All right. So before we stop, if there are any questions, the method or the purpose of what I'm trying to do is to show you when you're learning something, you always need to see what's out there and what the average person has quick and easy access to. And it's very beneficial to do a quick Google search just to see what's out there. People are different on this, blah, 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 blah. They just type it in. And you'll be shocked what you'll find. And if you can see it that quickly and easily, that means what? Who aren't in the class can also access it. Who don't have as much Islamic knowledge as you, or taqwa and iman, let alone non-Muslims as well, can also what? Feud. The Worldly Life podcast versus such and such refutation. Next thing you know, I get that, huh? All right, let's see what we got here. This is Korah. Sayyid Hassan Abbas Rizvi. Mahad. Huh? What do you think? Where do you think he comes from? It says magic involves the casting of a spell on another, usually for evil purposes. All magic is from the devil. Therefore, in Islam, magic is forbidden as haram. I don't think there's anything like white magic. If you mean magic spells to benefit yourself or others, yes, there are. But even those involve the selling of your soul into the service of the devil, which itself involves evil rites. So there can be no magic without evil. In Islam, the best way of doing good to others is to pray to Allah, asking Him for help. Allah promises in the Holy Quran that He listens to the prayer of everyone who does not, or who does so with sincerity, feeling, and for a good purpose. Their prayers can be both either for yourself or for anyone else. There are 99 names of Allah. This is just basic, simple Korah. So it goes back to the whole istighatha argument. If it's permissible, for argument's sake, to call and to ask this one, why wouldn't you do that which is guaranteed? If you're playing this game, this poker game, why are you going to play? Why wouldn't you play your best hand, the best card that you got? Uno. You're going to use what? When a crucial time comes, what card are you going to use? You're going to use the most powerful card. It's not the most dire situation. Different story. I'll hold it. But this is life or death. Someone is sick. Someone is dying. I'm going to use good magic. Do you have enough time to rely upon Allah and use good magic? It's not adding up. It's not making sense. And that's a common sense way of refuting that whole entire argument. Is there such thing as white magic? Or is it just another Taweez bluff? Please enlighten me. It's on Reddit. Salam. I've got some eerie childhood story that I need some opinions whether I should be worried. This happened during Eid gathering, and I just so happened to record it since almost Eid. English is not my first language, so go easy on me. This happened when I was in elementary school about 15 years ago. My cousin and I, very young, 13 years old, back then, and revealed to me that he was in the possession of a spiritual object, kiddis, equivalent to a dagger, belonging to a Muslim jinn. I was in disbelief and thought he was joking. He then told me he got the thing from someone who extracted for him and said there was a beam of light on the floor before the kiddis emerged from the ground. He further elaborated that he was practicing, I quote, unquote, white magic, a big distinction between black magic, and the sole objective is to protect oneself from evil. And then one day a black magic practitioner tried to cast spell on him as he was opposing their beliefs, but ended up falling due to his iman. At this point, I was speechless and just nodded whatever he was saying. He also says I don't know what it's called in English, but he has mata batin, essentially the ability to see spiritual beings, jinns and other stuff around him, and he happens to have a jinn as his companion, the owner of the dagger. Inshallah, we'll stop. Any questions, guys? Mahad, you got to explain to us. You got your work cut out for you, Mahad, being an imam. Faddal. At what point do you seek ruqya? Good question. Clear. Ruqya is like going to the doctors. Something you can do yourself, preventative, precautionary, or I'm actually sick or wounded. No problem. There's no need to go to the doctors, which may cost money. You may have to expose part of your body, your private part. You're busy. Not best. But there's a time and a place in which we don't need you to play around. Go to the doctors. And someone who's concerned about you will say, Akhi, no, I can do. You need to go to the doctors, Akhi. Let the professional do it. Like a car. Instead of playing around, just go take it into the dealership. Let the specialist handle it. Because you mess something up, then what? That's first and foremost. As far as those who will enter Jannah without being punished, without being reckoned, there's a virtue. وَلَا يَسْتَرْقُونَ. They don't seek the ruqya. هذا حالة كمال. أنت الآن محتاج مصاب معاني تطلب الكمال وأنت معاني ومصاب. عقلي يعني في خلل. شخص في حاجة ما يسعى في الكمال. يسعى في إيش؟ في الأخذ بالعلاج. All right, so if you're sick and you're ill, you can't be thinking about, I don't want to ask no one for the ruqya. You need to be healed and cured, and this is also a trick of the shaitan. And if I had $1 for every time someone said this to me, I'll be a wealthy man right now. Very wealthy man. I don't want to get the ruqya because the hadith about the people entering Jannah, that's a trick of the shaitan. And the Prophet ﷺ himself got what? Ruqya, whether he asked for it or not, but he took it. And he gave it as well. Wallahu ta'ala alam. طيب. Faisal? Christians who claim that they take demons out of people, exorcism. The idea is similar to ruqya, taking the jinn out of the person. How they do it, what they say, that's a different story. But the origin of the ruqya, especially in the Catholic Church, is supposed to be a good, holy thing. It's supposed to take whatever entity out of that person. Wallahu ta'ala alam. خلاص سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.
على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. كذب أصحاب الأيكة المرسلين إذ قال لهم شعيب ألا تتقون إني لكم رسول أمين فاتقوا الله وأطيعون وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجري إلا على رب العالمين أوفوا الكيل ولا تكونوا من المخسرين وزنوا بالقسطاس المستقيم ولا تبخسوا الناس أشياءهم ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين واتقوا الذي خلقكم والجبلة الأولين قالوا إنما أنت من المسحرين وما أنت إلا بشر مثلنا وإن نظنك لمن الكاذبين فأسقط علينا كسفا من السماء إن كنت من الصادقين قال ربي أعلم بما تعملون فكذبوه فأخذهم عذاب يوم الظلة إنه كان عذاب يوم عظيم إن في ذلك لآية وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين وإن ربك لهو العزيز الرحيم وإنه لتنزيل رب العالمين نزل به الروح الأمين على قلبك لتكون من المنذرين بلسان عربي مبين وإنه لفي زبر الأولين أولم يكن لهم آية أن يعلمه علماء بني إسرائيل ولو نزلناه على بعض الأعجمين فقرأه عليهم ما كانوا به مؤمنين كذلك سلكناه في قلوب المجرمين لا يؤمنون به حتى يروا العذاب الأليم فيأتيهم بغتة وهم لا يشعرون فيقولوا هل نحن منظرون أفبعذابنا يستعجلون أفرأيت إن متعناهم سنين ثم جاءهم ما كانوا يوعدون ما أغنى عنهم ما كانوا يمتعون وما أهلكنا من قرية إلا لها منذرون ذكرى وما كنا ظالمين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وما تنزلت به الشياطين وما ينبغي لهم وما يستطيعون إنهم عن السمع لمعزولون فلا تدع مع الله إلها آخر فتكون من المعذبين. وأنذر عشيرتك الأقربين واخفض جناحك لمن اتبعك من المؤمنين. فإن عصوك فقل إني بريء مما تعملون وتوكل على العزيز الرحيم الذي يراك حين تقوم وتقلبك في الساجدين إنه هو السميع العليم. هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبون والشعراء يتبعهم الغاوون ألم تر أنهم في كل واد يهيمون وأنهم يقولون ما لا يفعلون إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وذكروا الله كثيرا وانتصروا من بعد ما ظلموا وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.